know why most people lose their money in crypto? Why people get completely flushed out? That's because majority of people come into crypto with the wrong mindset. They are here, why? Don't know. They just want to make a lot of money. Therefore, you're not understanding the true power behind crypto. Guys, I'm going to show you in this video how you can use crypto to control your entire life. How it is a tool that you can access at any moment to take away short-term to long-term problems. Then I'm going to give you the tools that you can use to actually understand what are you doing with your money, why are you in crypto, and what is your actual game plan. Those who prepare for their success know what to do when they actually are successful. The first thing you need to understand that purpose is everything in crypto. Purpose behind your money means you actually care about it and you know what you're actually doing with it. When you actually know what you're doing with money, it's easy to plan. It's easy to understand what to do if it goes wrong, if it goes right. You actually know what you're doing with the money, and that's what's going to separate you from just being a gambler and guessing when you're going to take profits, guessing when you're going to actually buy into the crypto, to someone that actually has a game plan and knows what they're doing. Now, remember last week I showed you guys this video over here. Now, this video taught you something very powerful, and I want to show you guys this again quickly. And this is so important to understand that I showed you the power of understanding how to split your money, to not have it all in one place, to actually know what these portfolios are doing for you. And you could see something as in a spot account. I call it your gold. It's something that you can always use to create more businesses or more portfolios or actual more streams of income for yourself. And then what it shows you is you start with step one. Once you got step one, you can then open up step two by the profits that you used from step one. And then from there you can open up the next one. And you can start off with one simple little account and end up having 20 accounts all doing different things for you. That's the power of understanding. Guys, when you joined the crypto market, you never joined just to learn how to buy and sell crypto. You're actually finally understanding how to be the boss of your own money. Now it's time for you to start understanding money. Money has the power to create, and that's the big thing. Money can do what you want it to do, but if you have no idea what you want to do with it, how's it going to work for you? How's it going to teach you and show you that this can open up doors, but you don't even see the doors? So the whole concept here is to understand that you can start off with a little bit of money and you can actually expand it to the outside. And it's also very important to understand that the best way to start is step one and starting in a very simple way. So today what I want to show you guys is I want to show you the power of having the purpose behind your money. What do I mean by this? You need to think to yourself, what are you actually here for? Let me give you my example. I'm Sheldon the Sniper here. I'm 27 years old. What am I here for? My first step here was to reallocate to Cape Town. My second one is to get a home for me and my lady. The third one is to move my mom and get a house for her. The fourth one was to open up more businesses. Then it was family holidays. Then it was Christmases. How can we have amazing Christmas and go to Switzerland? How can we do all of these things? Do you see all my list of all my problems? By actually putting them out there and understanding that this is what I want to accomplish. By doing that, I can be realistic with myself and say, I have $1,000. I have 20 things that I want to achieve. Let's start with the first one. And by understanding this, you know what you are starting with, but you also know when you are going to be creating the next one. The reason why we struggle is because we just throw in a bunch of money in crypto and expect it to just make life happen for us. No, you have to have a basic structure and plan behind what you're doing. So let's start off with a few things before I show you the tools that you're going to use. I want to quickly show you this chart over here. And this is a total free chart. This is showing the altcoins. And I just want to show you guys in specific over the last year. You could see that this market was basically rallying in a range that was up to around 30%. For a while, many months, 30% was the actual moves. And all of a sudden, what we saw a massive move. In those couple of weeks, we saw the altcoin market go up 137%. Then we saw the pullback, and now we're probably in a place of where the next rally is about to begin. But if you zoom out to the crypto chart, you could see there's times where it is sideways and there's times where it's giving a lot of money. And this is very important to understand. When you have these big moves over here, the market's already making you a lot of money. Okay, so a lot of people think that leverage is the way and these sort of things. No, if you have a certain amount of money and you are patient with that money will grow into a lot of money. I like to look at these bigger moves as something that I use for bigger goals. Things like houses and cars and debt and a lot of these things that we have in our lives. I look at these bigger moves as that being my reward, buying at good levels and using those bigger moves to be accomplishing the bigger goals. Then what's also important to understand is if you zoom in, you could see that there's a ton of little waves in between. Now, these little waves, for me, takes away my little problems. If I can take these little ranges over here and get rid of my little problems, what do I mean by that? Is my groceries for the month, maybe some small debts as well, maybe for the little family holidays that I was going to use my own money for. I could use these little ranges to pay off the little things in life. I can then use the bigger moves to pay off the bigger things in life. Now, the problem is someone will just come in and just put all their money in on any single time frame, and they won't know what's actually happening. Therefore, when you start to get a bit of a higher time frame move, they'll probably panic, and they'll probably end up, destroying their whole account because they have no understanding of that. There's so many parts of my portfolio that rides through these highs and lows, but I know on the bigger moves and time frames, they are there to achieve the bigger goals. If they're my bigger and long-term goals, they are nothing that I should be worrying about on the short term, other than me maybe adjusting my actual strategy. But the main concept here is to understand that you're going to get the massive big moves over here, and you're going to get the smaller moves as well where the market starts to range. Now, what's important about that, and I'm going to bring Sniper School into this because I teach a lot of this, and I want to remind you again, Sniper School is free for you guys. Go below in the description and join Sniper School. It teaches you all of the basics you need to know, specifically if you have questions right now with this video. But I want to jump into this over here, which is the time frames. And the time frames show you something very important. You have a 1 hour chart. You know, when you're here on TradingView and you see your 1 hour chart over here, and you see your 4 hour, your 8 hour, your 12 hour, this is time frames. And what that basically means is it's showing you data. And it's showing you data what happened in that specific time. But now you got to understand, it's all the same data. The difference is you're zooming in and you're zooming out. You're looking at the smaller picture and you're looking at the bigger picture, which is an amazing skill to have, but you need to know the difference. You can't be treating your long-term portfolio seriously on a 1 hour chart. It's ridiculous. You're using the complete wrong tool that you should be using. You should be using the weekly and the monthly time frames. So it's so important to understand that your 1 hour chart gives you data for 24 to 48 hours. So if you're someone that wants to take away small problems in your life, that's probably the time frame you need to master in order to take the small trades and to take away the small problems in your life. Then what you have is things like 4 hour and 8 hour charts. This can take anywhere up to 8 to 10 days to play out. So for your midterm, something that I maybe need some money for next week, this is the perfect time frame to be setting your week or two goals. I want to achieve something by next week Friday. That's the perfect time frame to be linking up with. Then what you have is the 12 hour and the daily, and this can give you anywhere up to the month. If you've got goals at the end of the month to pay off some of your debt, probably one of the best time frames to be using for that money that's there to help you with your debt. Remember guys, you are here to learn money. One big thing that changed my life is I have zero debt. Everything that I have bought was cash. And the reason why is it taught me the skill that if you don't have money to buy it, you don't buy it. Doesn't mean you must sit on your butt and do nothing. It means I must go work for it now. And I must put in the hours and I must trade my ass off. I can't go borrow money from the bank and have this debt all of a sudden. Otherwise, I'm never going to get anywhere. So by understanding that you can actually make the money to take away these problems is very powerful. So when you look at things like 12 hour and daily, you can really start taking a bit of money and actually put a purpose behind it that this thing is going to actually take away some of my debt. And if I do this correctly over the next couple of months, in the next year, I will not have any debt. Why? Because I've given that money purpose. I've given it something that it needs to chase and something that it needs to do. And what that does for you is it already tells you when to take profits. It already says, hey, I've achieved my first step. Take profits. Doesn't matter in your brain if you think it's going to go more or someone on the internet has told you it's going to go to $1 billion. Does not matter. You've achieved your goal. You go and pay for your goal. So by understanding these different time frames, you're going to be able to match them to your actual accounts and the purposes behind those accounts. Then what's beautiful about it too is it does not matter what the other time frames are saying. What your time frame is saying for your specific purpose in that portfolio is what you listen to. So for example, if the high time frames are looking terrible, okay, but the low time frames is looking great, you go long for the day on your short-term portfolio, okay? However, your long-term is not the same. That's the difference. You can be bullish for a short period, but bearish for the high time frame. And that's the difference, because if you look at them both, you're going to get confused. You're going to think, oh, I don't know what to do now. Where if you separate it, it's going to simplify everything for you. The next thing that's very important as well, guys, is understanding the purpose. Now, what I want you to do today is I want you to actually make purpose with your money. I want you to understand, why are you in crypto? If I ask you right now, and yes, the camera's right on me, I'm looking at you right now. Why are you here? What is the reason that you're here for? Okay, and if you're gonna just say financial freedom, I'm sorry, but that's not good enough. Financial freedom is what? Just putting a couple million in your account? It makes zero sense, okay? What is the main reason? The main reason I don't like my job. Okay, cool. So let's work on a strategy that can make you a monthly salary so you can leave your job. Then what? Oh no, I want to try some hobby. Okay, cool. Then like you actually have to have an understanding of what that financial freedom actually is. When you have this goal of financial freedom, we need to break it into pieces that we can structure it ladder by ladder. And when they say that slow down to speed up, this is one of the most important things I've ever learned in my life, is the slow down to speed up. One step at a time. And when you look back, you're like, wow, I just climbed 2 floors. And that's the whole power behind it. So I want you to really understand what that financial goal is and start breaking it down. Then what you can start looking at doing is understanding, let me take that specific purpose and now let's break that into a structure. Okay, and let me show you. So an example, here's a car, and I've shown this through school many times, but here's a car. Just a small example of one wallet that is holding a bunch of tokens, but actually has a purpose behind it. It's showing me here that this one is for a car. I only got $1,000. That's all that I have. But I have a roadmap for it. Okay, the first goal is to get to 2,000, and then 4,000, then 8,000, 16, then 25, then I can buy my car. So what have I done? I've basically turned this into 5 steps. Okay, now what do I have to do? Focus on step 1. Okay, and you can see how I break up the entire structure over here and give myself a good understanding. The next thing you need to understand is a 3-pillar system behind your actual purpose, behind that specific portfolio. And here we go. We've got something as in a business structure. This is what I just showed you: the purpose, the create the business, the roadmap, the step for step. Then the next pillar is the charting. How am I going to buy these things? What am I going to do? What indicators am I going to use? Okay. And this is exciting because the next video you're going to see is actually perfectly on that. It's a 4-step system. But what it basically does is, firstly, you need to understand your time frame, which tokens you're going to be trading. Okay. And then many people ask me, oh, which tokens should I choose? Whichever one's going to achieve your goal, whichever one's the easiest to trade today, whichever one's the strongest that you're going to win, whichever one's going to be the highest probability. And that sounds very easy, but it is that easy. It's about looking at what makes perfect sense to take this trade right now, understanding my risk and reward, and choosing that not because I love this token or someone told me that it's phenomenal. You can understand how to trade it. That's the powerful thing. Your 4-step method, and then what's important is your risk management as well, your rule systems, your training journal, all of these sort of things. So what you want to do is, I want to bring up a slide over here for a second, and I want to show you how the slide basically works. What you have on the left side is you have the bigger things in life. You got your house. Then what you have is your car. Then what you have is your debt. Then you have things like fun. Let's go on a date. Buy your lady some flowers. When last you buy your lady flowers? I'm reminding you today, when you make profits in crypto, buy your lady some flowers. Okay? And what about the mental health? What do you do outside of crypto to make sure you're healthy? Do you speak to someone? Do you go for jogs? Do you eat well? Do you do anything for yourself to sustain yourself? Probably not, right? I'm here to tell you today, add this into your purpose system. You need to be okay to make money. You need to be thinking clear. I need you focused every day, which means you've got to take a bit of that money and use it to invest in yourself. So what you're seeing here is a ladder of actual understanding of the purposes that you want to achieve. Then what you're doing is you're attaching a time frame to those specific purposes. Then what you're doing is you are building a basic system to understand how to buy and how to sell on that specific time frame. And it is very easy, guys. Here's a small example. For someone that is looking for a retirement fund, I want you to load a stochastic RSI on the monthly. And when the RSI gets to the top, over 80%, start laddering out. And when it gets to the bottom, start laddering back in. Or when it gets to the top, sell everything into Bitcoin. When it gets to the bottom, buy a ton of altcoins. Just keep doing that for the next couple of years and you're going to be super rich. That's how simple it actually is. But we complicate it inside. So I want you to take all of your goals here and I want you to put them down so that they have purpose. Then what I want you to do is create a roadmap for each of them. To understand that, let me break this thing into bite sizes. Then you will start building the actual plan of starting and when to achieve it. The next thing that's also important is a priority list. Out of these, what is the highest priority? If you only have $100 to start right now, no problem. Choose one of your priorities and get started. And when you achieve the first one, then open up the next one. And I want you to actually understand that you are building an ecosystem. You are now the boss. You're the one that runs the money. You're the one that moves it around. You're the ones that protect it. So you need to now understand exactly what you're doing in crypto, and that's how you're going to be successful. So guys, the whole purpose of this video is just to get a little bit of understanding of what you're doing. By understanding what you're actually doing with your money, you're going to see how you're going to have control of your emotions. You're actually going to understand if the market's dumping, what should I be doing? It's all about bringing calmness. I've always said this many times, guys. I was not blessed with the most skills in the world. I really wasn't. However, I achieved it in crypto. I made the money work for me. And by just simplifying it, any of you guys could actually do it. So I want you to take this seriously and go draw up your big vision boards and actually build a plan. Don't just dream anymore. We're not lottery people anymore where we're just going to become rich overnight. How about you just earn it? How about you just make your way to true success? In order to do that, to have that big vision, but break it up into pieces. Understand that you can use different portfolios or different amounts of money to actually do things for you. You can trade to take away debt. You can trade to buy groceries. You can trade to buy your lady flowers. That's the power of it. So don't think that it's just a bunch of money that you're putting into it. You're actually going to create an ecosystem that you're going to be able to run for the rest of your life. So I want you to go write this all out. Comment below what you've enjoyed about this video, and was it an aha moment for you? I want you to like, I want you to subscribe, and I want to remind you guys again, I have the whole ecosystem for you. If you are missing anything, I have a school for you. Here's the link below in the description. It is free for you guys. Join school. Then what I have is something called Sniper Club. When you've done school, you're looking for community, you're looking for a little bit more advanced, you're looking for people that are in the same boat as you, we have Sniper Club. And yes, it's $99 a month, but I think it's worth way, way, way more. This is a family, and one thing you'll learn about Sniper is we give a shit about each other. Love you guys lots. I'll see you in the next video. Much love.